Hey everyone, welcome back to Munro Live. Today we're going to do the ride and drive, test drive, and we have Paul Lester back. There's probably no one better to ride and drive in a Mini considering you've had 4 old ones and...
No, 6 old ones, 2 new ones.
6 old ones, 2 new ones. So this will be your 9th ride and drive in a Mini. So we're going to hop in, figure out some of the controls and get rolling. We're going to head to a charging station to see what that experience is like as well. All right, let's go. All right, so we're in the Mini, and I covered this before. The start stop is right there, and you press it down once to turn it on, and I think you have to press it one more time to so that you can go. Now, I do like this screen. You have this huge circle here, and only a small sliver is useful. But what we want to do is navigate to a charging station, and I have not done anything in advance here, so let's see what we got. Recent charging stations. Nice. So it took me a couple clicks here and there to find charging stations, and I might as well just navigate to this one. And we'll go.
Follow the road for 600 feet. Turn left.
So the navigation is actually really hard to see. It's the white line in this mess of yellow and green. I don't find this very intuitive. Notice there's yellow, green. Green is showing traffic is flowing. I have to look real hard to see the white line in the middle of this. What do you think?
It'd be nice if you could flip it so direction of travel's up as well. You probably can.
You can, but I'm driving, so I don't want to.
Nice soft surfaces everywhere. Like foam behind.
Fit and finish is really good. The interiors have come such a far... I'm going to rephrase that. The interiors have improved vastly since the late 90s, early 2000s. I had a 2005 GM Chevy Silverado, and all the plastic had big gaps, and they squeaked, and it was almost like a kid's toy. These interiors are so refined now. It's actually quite amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do sense a lot of stiffness. When I go over these bumps here, I can feel the whole car kind of stiffly shaking.
Yeah, you can hear a little bit of rattling as well in this door.
The cluster here has a different finish on it, and when we first got the vehicle, I thought that they had left a protective film on it. This is most likely to protect for glare, but it's different. It's a different finish than this screen. I don't like that lack of consistency. I don't know if you can see this with the camera. It's kind of a muted, dull color.
Everything else is glossy.
Glossy.
Bits, yeah.
Now it is not recessed. It's like this is recessed into a small area. Typically your cluster is recessed into the dash. This is connected to the steering wheel. And I'm not tall. I'm 5'10" on a good day. But the steering wheel is blocking the top half of this, and I can't see the 100% on either of these. And I kind of have to hunch down to see it. Now, I can't adjust the steering wheel. But even if I adjust it down or up, it helps a little.
And I can see exposed fasteners from over here as well. On that little thing in there.
The range indicator does not show miles. It just shows percentage, which is pretty clever for BMW or Mini to do that, because the range is so short on this. You know, what is it, 124, 120 miles? That right now it would be saying 110 miles. But it gives you the sense that you have a full tank of fuel if you had an internal combustion engine, seeing that 100%. I have a much better feeling driving around at 100, 75, or even 50% versus seeing 40 miles of range left, because people can really internalize, oh my gosh, 40 miles, I can barely get, you know, a commute round trip if you commute 20 miles. So with this car being small, it's very nimble. I do notice a little bit of torque steer. Not as bad as the torque steer on the Kia that we had earlier. We had I don't even remember. What was that Kia called? The Kia
Kona?
Niro. The Niro. It was a forgettable vehicle. But when I punched it with the Kia, I had noticeable torque steers pulling me to the right. This vehicle being transverse powertrain with an offset differential. The differential is offset to the right, and there's a small transfer shaft. I still get a little bit of that torque steer feeling if you really punch it. Around corners, it's just great because it's little. I mean, it has a short wheelbase. What's the wheelbase on these, Paul? You know that?
Like 10 feet, maybe?
Yeah. The regen braking is not as aggressive as you would feel on a couple other vehicles that I drove. I remember the VW ID4 regen braking really kind of takes you off guard, but this vehicle does a little better job of rolling that last few feet, and it doesn't have a hold that's as noticeable. When a Tesla Model Y or Model 3 holds, you can physically hear the hold take over as the pedal moves. It's a small sound. It's like a mechanical click moving sound when the one box system presses the pedal down, and I don't get that same sound in this. What did your BMW do?
For regen, you mean?
For a hold. Does it have a hold?
Nope.
It just keeps rolling?
Occasionally. It's probably 50% of the time. If there's a slight downgrade, it will just creep real slow.
See, as this rolls to a stop, notice it it doesn't hold, it just kind of pauses. It's not a noticeable hold. It's different. Now, many people in the comments may say, hey, you can switch those modes to a roll or a creep. We at Munro & Associates, this is really a first impressions. And Sandy always says, if you jump in a car as a rental at the airport, you shouldn't have to read the manual to figure out how to get it to go, stop, shift, change lanes, and even navigate. All right, so we're almost to a charging station. We're going to get out and plug it in. But my videographer, Eric, back here asked me to comment on the space in the rear. He says he's struggling. It's really, really tight. So this is a two-door small vehicle, and his knees are jammed up against the back of Paul's seat. Now, Paul does have a decent amount of room.
Yeah, I've only got little legs though.
You can give him a little reprieve. But this thing is not meant for four large people. See the charging experience. So still has the two little caps. If you ever had any Tesla, you know those caps aren't there. Seems pretty simple.
Press start.
You gotta pay.
No, actually, I got the app.
Explain what you're doing here for the camera.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the app so we can start the charging. Okay. Start charge. You can plug in now.
I did. It's charging.
It's flashing orange. Should be flashing green, shouldn't it? There you go. Yeah, every experience is slightly different. I mean, I think I got 5 different apps on my phone just in case. But everything is just slightly different. I tried to charge up at in Canton last weekend. I couldn't get the machine to work. So.
You know, and that was, a lot of people say that Sandy and I are Tesla homers. We are biased towards them, but a 72-year-old man and me, who's never owned an EV, got in a car and pressed Malibu and ended up charging 47 times all around the country, and never once did we have to tap a card, open an app, anything. We backed up, we plugged in, and we walked straight into the gas station or wherever we're at.
Yeah.
Zero effort, zero thought. Our only complaint was we had to back in. I wish the charge point was on the front.
Right.
That was my only complaint. And eventually these will be everywhere.
Yeah.
But for right now, even these few extra steps, having to back into this one to realize it was the wrong plug, then back into this one for the right plug, and then having to tap an app. If I wouldn't have had the app, I would have had to download it or pay for it. So,
Yeah.
all right, we'll let this thing gas up a little more.
Gas up?
No pun intended. And I'll let Paul drive it back.
Okay. Well, first thoughts, feel a lot of tyre noise through the steering wheel. More than you'd expect to. Lots of tyre noise going around corners as well. Which is the best way to go? Left?
Left, yeah.
Very little regen braking. My i3 is definitely one pedal drive and I love it.
Yeah. This does not grab as much as other EVs. What do you think?
It's okay. It's not amazing, but not bad. Acceleration wise. Steering position's nice, I like it. I mean, Mini are pretty good at getting all the ergonomics going. See, they've got sort of throwback to the original Mini with all these toggle switches. I mean, they've got another setup here as well, but obviously they've had some occupant protection features on there, stop you touching stuff you shouldn't be in an accident, which is nice. I'm not very tall, I'm still struggling to see those stoplights.
My brother-in-law had a Mini, and he had a little reflector right here that he put
All right.
that would pick up the color of the light and reflect it, so he didn't have to continue to bend down to see the see the color of the light. So this vehicle does have lane keep assist. Paul, can you see if you can activate the cruise control? You had a Mini before, so
Not with cruise control. Oh, maybe it did have cruise control. Activated. Is it set? Yeah, there you go.
now see if it vibrates to tell
it does,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, to tell you.
Disconcerting if you didn't know it was coming.
So instead of keeping it in the lane, it vibrates as if you're hitting the rumble strips on the right or the left, depending
Yeah.
on whether you went right or left.
So it's not active, it's more of a passive system, right?
I am hearing a lot of wind noise.
Yeah, it's from the mirrors, I think. Yeah. And my navigation is you can have a split screen, so it does turn by turn as well as the map, which is nice.
So you can add a split screen.
Ah, okay.
I did notice this.
Okay. Probably gives you turn
You
by
can-
turn.
you
with
can pick
a
between-
destination.
Other items.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this eDrive.
See, that's one feature I like, the iDrive on mine. So this has it, does it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. But this is the armrest gets in the way, so you can't actually use it.
you can
which is-
adjust it.
Yeah, it's better. Not. So my screen in my car is not touch screen at all. It's all done by the iDrive, which takes about a day to get used to. But once you're used to it, I prefer it. I think.
All right, so real quick, I want to thank the PR department at the BMW Group. They were the ones that gave us this car for a week. I also want to thank Paul for giving your insight into Minis. I know you've had 8 of them. This is your 9th time you've ridden in it.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say? What do you think?
It's nice. It's a nice car to drive. It's a bit noisier than I expect it to be. The tyre noise and road noise and wind noise. But for a little commuter car, I think it's quite nice. I'm not sure I'd buy one, but it's a nice car.
Now the price point is $29,000 is what it starts at, and I think you can still get a $7,500 federal credit. So at 22, 24, 25,000, if you're just going to be bopping around town, this is a nice little car.
Yeah.
Any sort of road trip or long commutes in a big city, I don't know. And my videographer, Eric, standing there, he said that he didn't even take it home because he lives 30 miles from here, and he would have had to charge it when he got home. So we may have 1 or 2 other episodes. Sandy is back this week, so he may give his opinion real quick before we send it back. But thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.